Hello, YouTube. Hope everybody's doing well. I have not been. I've been sick for about the past week and a half. Believe it was COVID. Not sure. I've been vaccinated, but that didn't really help much. Still get it. It's just not as severe. But yeah, so been dealing with that, and yeah, thought I'd do a video. I finally feel like doing one. I have a headache, but we'll get through it. Uh, so this video is going to be on Something Obscene Company. Maybe you've heard of them, maybe you haven't. They make their knives are definitely not going to be for everyone. Um, they're higher end Chinese made knives, USA designed, and I believe he's a custom knife maker. But before that, I thought I'd show you what was in my pockets today. This is the Civivi. Is this a Civivi? Yeah. This is Civivi Amorite, something like that. Am I right? I don't know. It's a Civivi. It's a pretty good one. It's a button lock. Um, Damascus blade. I think it's like a 9CR variant or something. It's okay. It sharpened up nicely. Seems to be okay. I haven't used it a whole lot, but what I have, it's been holding up well. I just have one bitch about this knife, and that's because you have to. I know that they have to be that way so that they don't activate, the blade don't come open, but on this one, it's a little more extra than that, guys. You got to really push that button down hard to get that blade to go. It's a little bit aggravating. It's not that big of a deal, but I'm used to it now. But yeah, that's the Civivi Amorite, something like that. Bit of a tough work knife, old school, Cold Steel Recon 1 Tonto. This thing's a beast, guys, man. You couldn't tear this thing up with a bulldozer. Just, you can see, I think maybe you can see, big old chip in the blade right there. I abuse this thing, and it just asks for more. It's one of those knives. It's a Cold Steel, just tough as nails. Yeah, this is the knife that if I need to pry for a minute and I don't want to get, off a ladder and walk, 30 yards to get a pry bar or something, this is going to get used for it. It's not, knives aren't really made to pry with and everything, but certain ones can just handle it better, and that's what, this is a work knife, and a hell of a one at that. So, Cold Steel Recon 1, had this quite a while, actually. It's still in great shape. I put this choil in there. It wasn't bad to begin with. Now I can't even remember how that edge terminated, but I think it just kind of comes straight back into the plunge there. I don't think there was a notch or anything. Could have been, though. Cold Steel Recon 1, though. That comes in spear point, drop point, I think, Tonto. Several variations. Maybe even a large and a small or extra large, something like that. But yeah, fantastic work knife. And this, I used to install flooring, guys, and this was the knife, my most used knife. I've used this thing, it's for carpet, but it'll cut anything, vinyl plank, all of it, laminate, and you end up using it for just about everything because it's just handy. I'm going to change the blade in it real quick. And these blades here, they're not like regular utility blades like you're used to. These are much, much sharper. And you get 4 edges, basically. You can have it like this, then you flip the blade over, then you turn it over, then you flip it over again, and then the blade's gone. You could probably sharpen it, but I don't. They're cheap enough. Just, yeah. Then there's extra storage for blades in here. Get them out. Some of the blades actually have a bit of a curve on the end. I don't care for those blades. I don't know if you can see that, if it'll focus. Right there. And then some of them are more squared off. Those are the ones I like. But yeah, you get used to having this knife on your side. I carried in like a pistol holster, and just easy to reach and grab it, use it, put it right back. Very handy with it. So yeah, this is probably the knife I've used the most in my life, maybe. The singular knife, anyway. Yeah, very dangerous. First time I was handed one, dude said, "Do not put your thumb up here." 15 minutes later, I was putting my thumb up there and it split it right in half. I'd never done it again, though. This is the first and last time it happened. So, but yeah, anyway. Something obscene company knives. If you've seen them, you've probably seen this. This is the Nimley. Like I said, not for everybody. It's the tiger stripe pattern. Cleaver blade. These are manufactured by Riot and designed by Felix Achaba, something like that. He's out of Tulsa, Oklahoma, and he's a knife designer. He makes customs. But yeah, like I said, this is made by Riot. It's just if you've ever handled anything made by Riot, they do a phenomenal job. Everything's done well. It's a wild blade shape, but the action on it, just fantastic. This is a version 4. They come out with a newer version that's got this cut out here. It's a little bit closer, and this doesn't go up so abruptly. It's a little bit, maybe a little bit more of a tame design, one might say. Titanium pocket clip. I believe the hardware is titanium as well. Yeah, it's just, these knives are crazy cool. Very thin behind the edge. It may not be the most practical knife that you could carry for an everyday basis, an EDC, but, it would do fine. It's got that very acute tip there, very thin, sharp edge. 20 CV on the blade steel, titanium handle, titanium backspacer clip. It's all titanium. I believe even the hardware, except for the insert, the lock insert. Very fun knives to play with. This one, I like it a lot, but it's not my favorite. And even my favorite is not I believe their most popular model is probably the J-Cape, and I don't have one of those. It's not that I don't like it, it's just probably my least favorite. The Nimley's not my favorite model, though. A lot of people like this one, too. It's pretty popular. But the one that I like most is the LEK. Yeah. So this is made by Riot, again, in China. Designed by... Now, this one was designed, the research is right, I couldn't find who designed it, but the LEK is the dude's initials, I guess. I couldn't find who it was or anything, but I did find that. So again, 20 CV on the blade steel, all titanium hardware, backspacer, lanyard loop right here. That's done really cool. Well, I guess I could show you guys, huh? But the way that lanyard's done right there, very nice. The action, just fantastic. There's one complaint on this knife. I have one complaint, and it's that you can reverse flick it really well, but the thumb flick, you have to practice. It's a little bit tricky. See, yeah, when I first got it, I couldn't hardly do it at all, but you've just got to wedge your thumb up in there, give it a little help. Yeah, there you go. That turns a lot of people off, because you can see that it's not a thumb stud, it's a bit of a thumb triangle shaped thing. But it's got like a hand rubbed look to it. Very nice. It's got like a horizontal satin here. And these used to come, they were, what's it called? Chisel ground, where, this one's the double bevel, so it's sharpened, it tapers in on both sides, but they used to be chisel ground only. And that may have been the customs that were that way, but still. Anyway, I'm not a big fan of chisel grinds. They can get very sharp. They're very nice, and a lot of people like them. Just not for me. But I love this knife. I think it's just awesome. This, Wicked Wharncliffe here, just badass. The action on it, just so smooth again. Riot made. The website, I went to do some research and just look around and get the prices on these. and their website's temporarily shut down. I didn't check this morning, but when I looked a couple days ago, it was shut down. It said due to fraudulent charges. It sounded like people were buying a lot of these knives and then disputing the charges with their credit card, trying to get their money back and things like that, and be able to keep the knife too, I guess, is the situation. So they're trying to straighten that out and everything. But on the website, these are about, I think I got this for $250, and if you go anywhere else, it's going to be about $350 or $400 for this. On Smoky Mountain Knife Works, I'm almost positive they're $400. Same for this, about $350 for $400. On their actual website, when it's up, they're a lot cheaper if they're in stock. Like I said, the website's shut down right now. I can't really tell you much. I don't know how long it's going to be. Now, I've had nothing but good experiences with these knives, the Something Obscene Company knives. There's another YouTuber out there, his channel name's The Pointy End. He's had a bit of a bad experience. So, like you should do with everything, take my video with a grain of salt. Go check out what he has to say. Like I said, I've had awesome experiences with the company. Everything's been good so far. It doesn't mean something bad couldn't happen, but he's had a bit of a different experience. You can find the video on his channel. It's a bit older, about 10 months ago. I just watched it the other day to just get a little insight on what he thought and what happened to him. And I won't go into that. I suggest you just go over and watch his video. It's informative. But yeah, both of these, let's see. The Nimley, it's got about a 3.75 inch blade and about an 8.5 overall. And the LEK is, let's see, it's about a 3.6 blade and about 8.6 overall. 5.1 ounces, so good weight to them too. I like it, it's not overly heavy, but it's just got a little bit, it feels solid, a little bit of heft to it. Just fantastic, man. And the story on this, I went to Blade Show 2024. Excuse me, guys, I gotta drink coffee. Like I said, I've been sick, throat's dry, I can feel my voice changing as we go. But, to kind of add to my good experience, I went to Blade Show 2024. And, my first time going, I had a plan, and I was going to do things, this way and that way. And, yeah, I spent just about all my money in the first room before I even made it to the second room. And these guys were in the second room. Well, when I got there, their booth was pretty covered up. There was a lot of people looking and buying knives, big exchanges going on. And I was looking, and the owner, the Felix, he's like, hey, you see something you like? And I was like, yeah, I like it all. But I said, I've done ran up myself almost out of money. And he kind of laughed, and he's like, your first time? I'm like, yeah, this is my first Blade Show. And he got a kick out of it. Real cool guy. He's really nice to me. He's like, and I know, like, I get that, any sale's a good sale, and, he was just looking to make a sale. But he said, well, how much are you close? And, or no, he called me down a little bit away from people, and he's like, what do you like? And I was like, well, I like one of the Nimleys. And he's like, oh, how close are you? And I said, I think, like 277. And he's like, and he was asking 350. And, to me, that seemed too far apart. I'm like, yeah, that's just what I got. I'll have to look for something else. He's like, hey, go pick you one out. Nothing with Damasteel blade or anything like that. Go pick you one out. I was like, you serious? He's like, yeah. And again, I thought it was very cool, but, another sale was better than no sale, So I'm not naive to that. I'm just saying I thought it was cool. So, yeah, I paid like $277 for it. So I thought that was really cool. And I left there with a little bit more appreciation for it. But, yeah, these knives are just, man, I'm going to get a J-Cape next. I can only imagine that they're just as good as these. And a little bit more practical blade shape, maybe. The Nimley. Maybe scare Margaret in the lunchroom or something. I don't know. It looks a little wicked, but, it's supposed to. I think it's awesome. You can't really use that. Well, you can. You can use that cutout to flick it open, but it's not real. It's not something you'd want to do. But yeah, guys, these are the Something Obscene Company knives that I have. This is the Nimley and the LTK. And I think that's it that I have on them, guys. I just wanted to show them to you. If you have any questions, ask me in the comments. Like, I'm sure I've left out a bunch of stuff. I'm kind of new to this, so I'm working on getting better. Until next time, guys, thanks for watching.